Welcome to episode 21 of the 15-Minute Coffee Podcast with Brandon Salazar, your go-to destination for expert perspectives and valuable insights from the world of business. Today I'm here with Rod Colon, a career advocate for college students and a man of many talents. Now, before we get into the questions, I would like to thank Mr. Colon for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you, sir.
And let's start with, why is every Monday at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time so important?
Well, I guess it's really all about these 30 years of experience, both in HR, in corporate HR, agency recruitment, and then this whole aspect of the last 2 decades of coaching and inspiring individuals to manage their career as this great enterprise. And every Monday night, I leave that 1 hour plus as an opportunity for anyone in the network to just tap in, ask questions, to network, to they're not sure if they want to move up in an organization, if I'm a college student wanting to go to grad school or internships. So really my whole mission with the Monday night program is simply to provide guidance, advice, hope, inspiration, where typically individuals are not getting it. And if they are, many times they have to pay quite a bit of money to get this type of guidance and coaching. So my approach is a facilitated learning, which is we learn from each other. So last night we had a couple of individuals, and we're sharing. Matter of fact, they were networking with each other, and they, are going to reach out and contact each other. So really, that's what the Monday night is about. Is really about managing your career as an enterprise and being with the coach who's been teaching, guiding, influencing, inspiring thousands over the years as my way of giving back to the community.
Yeah, that's a great point. And let's go into this question of, can you share a bit about your background and your journey to becoming who you are today?
My background started out as a temp. That's right, a temp at JP Morgan. I worked for Hot Temps, and my nickname was Hot Rod from Hot Temps. And so I was a Wang word processor. After a year and a half working there, and really was just fortunate enough to work in the department that personal computers were being rolled out, and they didn't have anyone who wanted to pick up these heavy boxes of computers and deliver them. None of the professionals wanted to do it. None of these MBAs and PhDs and all the stuff working at JP Morgan at the time. They didn't want to get their hands dirty. And good old Hot Rod from Hot Temp said, no problem. Just, let me in. And that's how it started. And, before you knew it, I had a database. I had this thing called Gold Dome. I remember Gold Dome database. And yeah, it was like an Excel spreadsheet. And I had all that information I was delivering. And guess what? When you deliver a computer and install it, things happen. They need to be fixed. So Hot Rod became Repairman Rod of computers. And that's really how the career started. I moved into HR, left to start my own business in 97. And really that whole business was really in recruitment and then coaching. Quite a bit of my work in the last decade has been in diversity, equity, and inclusion, belonging. And just love working with all professionals, but I got a sweet spot for college students.
Yeah, that's a great point. So then talk to me about the importance of CEO of me, because that's something that you like to highlight a lot, and it actually makes a lot of sense when you really look into it.
Yeah, CEO of me is that I have the right to be inquisitive. I have not only the right, the privilege to do certain things. And as the CEO of me, I have a board of directors that I report to. Many individuals will think, well, I guess my board is the company I work for. No, the company you work for is your clients. But your board of directors are your spouse, your loved ones, people that, when the chips are down, they're counting on you. So when your mindset is one that you're not working for a company where you can coast, but you have your own business now that you're always on, and that you work for your loved ones just brings it brings the effort up. It brings the accountability higher. So I always thought myself when starting this kind of mindset that I have three kids, and it was my youngest, my daughter. I always thought of her, just visualizing her at this staff meeting where it's the board of directors asking me, how's it going? And she says to me, well, Dad, how did it go with that follow-up meeting with certain company? Oh, I was tired. I didn't want to do that. Um, maybe next week. And I just heard her, I visualized her saying, really, Dad? Really? Right? So that kind of got me going to think and visualizing that, and not to say that that's going to motivate you, but you need to find what it is that's going to motivate you, because greatness is inside all of us, period, end of story. We all have greatness inside of us. My role is to kind of get it out of you, get that greatness to show, to shine out to the public, to the community. And whatever I can do to plant the seed or inspire a good word or just smile or a good Latino hug, I try to be there for them.
Yeah, I like the point of mentioning that everyone has their special ability. Like there's a quote that says like if you ask a fish to walk up a tree, it's gonna think it's stupid its whole life. And it kind of goes with everything like in life in general. Like you might not be great at one thing, but you're definitely gonna be great at one thing, another thing, because there's infinite amount of things you could be good at, and you just have to find what you need to be good at and love it.
Yeah, love it. That's one of the comparable to that is like if you heard of the story of the eagle hanging out with the turkeys. He was born near the turkeys, and his whole life he hung out with the turkeys, and he didn't know he was an eagle. He just thought he was a turkey. So it's the same concept. You really need to surround yourself with individuals who are going to help you could lean on, to inspire you, to guide you, to advocate for you, to connect, introduce you to others. Find those individuals on your team. And I call those individuals my board of advisors. Board of directors is my family, my loved ones. But the board of advisors are those individuals that I respect, I appreciate their opinions, and they won't hesitate to say, hey, Rod, I think you could have done that better. And you need individuals like that on your team.
Yeah, I really love that point because I'm actually really for that. I really love when people not like challenge me, but if I do something wrong, I really like to know how I could fix it. Like I'm almost insane about it. If I do something wrong or I need improving, I love for people to mention it because I'm always seeking to improve things and be better. But that goes into the point of what is the best part of your job and some highlights of your career.
The best part of what I do, and really I look at my work as my mission. I was called to do this. That's how I view it. What I love most about it is having conversations like we're having right now. People ask me, Rod, you're now 61 going on 62. You're getting ready for that retirement year? And I'm like, what? Retire? From what? It's not a job. What am I going to retire from? Helping people? Helping others to help others? Helping them to introduce with others? No, man, I'm doing this till the good Lord takes my breath away, and then I could hang out upstairs. But and really, the fun, the work, the love, the enjoyment is learning new stuff for me. This whole thing on AI, right? Artificial intelligence, right? Chat GPT, Gemini, Auto AI, Picasso, no, not because there's another one, on the. I mean, that's just awesome where things are going. And if I can take the best of AI and speed up the process for an individual to target a resume where it would take them 3 hours, now they could do it in 20 minutes. Take that cover letter in another 10 or 15 minutes, or have a proposal directly out to a client that it is absolutely you, but you were the one to massage that information, dig a little deeper, be a little more curious, and getting something from AI that's exactly what you need. Boy, that's awesome. So I love staying in the new.
Yeah.
I love learning from the new. And I have to tell you, Brandon, that hanging out with our Gen Zers and the Gen A'ers I mean, it's just cool. Yeah, I'm in my 60s, but I'm hanging out with the youngsters.
Yeah, it's a good point with the AI you bring up because yes, it's amazing for resumes and all these things, but when you think of it for healthcare and medical like say like life-saving things, think of the importance it could do if it automates certain processes, tasks. It's just it opens a whole new world of being able to like improve healthcare.
Yeah, it's my buddy.
Yeah,
Gemini is my buddy. It's like I got a question, I go to Gemini.
yeah,
And it's not to say that it's perfect. We have what is it called, Brandon, when they miscalculate on AI? They have a special word for it. Hallucination. Yeah, it hallucinates. Okay, but you're the one who has to make sure that it's accurate information before it leaves. Before you hit the enter key.
yeah,
But it's just I'm in a blessed position where I love what I do. I get excited on Sunday nights about what I'm going to do on Monday morning, and I pray and help others to try to find where that place, where the intersection of where income and passion intersect. Right? Because if you're passionate about stuff that you're not making any money, we got a problem. And if you're making a lot of money but without passion, boy, not good. So we want to make sure that people are doing what they love.
yeah. That's a great point. And then, what would be your most valuable advice learned through your career?
Really, it's to see yourself as running a great enterprise. That what you do is excellent, and it's almost like our constitution. It's like in pursuit of happiness. Well, being the CEO of me is in pursuit of greatness. Will we ever get there? I know I'm not, but I'm in the pursuit. I'm in the going. I'm in the trying. One of the things about Earl Nightingale, the old classic statement, is success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream or cause. So it's not the end. We don't judge just by the end point. We judge it by the mile markers in our journey. And success is there. Success is in the journey. And it goes up and down. But when you see yourself in the mirror and you say to yourself, good morning, boss. How you doing? It's a great feeling. And if you're not seeing yourself that way, when will you? When will you say, hello, boss?
That's a great point. And then your advice to college students looking to excel in their field and stand out.
Number one is market demand. I could get excited about any particular field, but if the market demand is not there, I got a problem. I got a business problem, right? I was at a meeting the other day and they said, well, we did this for the kids. I said, look, I have to be honest with you. I told my kids, my three kids, that the major they selected was very important because their chairman of the board will not subsidize majors that are not relevant to market demand in some way. They had to build their case. Dad, I'm going to X, and this is a reason why, and they had to build a case. And then I could support them. But if and I'm not going to share a major because somebody could be listening in that is that major, but I would just say is that if it's a major that there's no market demand, why am I going to invest? I'd rather just put in a T-bill, for X amount and give it to them when they're done. But so that's the way I look at it. There's a very, like a benevolence, but there's got to be accountability.
And it's a great point because it's not just like about it's obviously about your passion, but it's also a return on investment. If you're going to invest in something, regardless of if it's $1, $2, $20,000, $200,000, because it's all in a ratio, you have to get a return on investment to be actually making profit, or in other words, benefits from what you're putting in. So if you're putting in this to go to college and you're not returning or profiting or benefiting from it, in real aspects, it's not really beneficial. Like you could go to college for a certain major and not come out with any new skills. Like you have to have tangible skills that are valuable to people or soft skills that are valuable to people. But whatever it is, you have to come out of college or something you invest in especially if you're investing in yourself with more than you had before, not equal or less.
I agree. Agreed. I mean, I was listening to an individual just recently, a CEO of a company. He says that the technical skills now with AI are pretty comparable. You know, if you're in technology, I mean, your competition knows about the same, can do about the same, all that. Really, the great differentiator now are the soft skills, where people in the past, yeah, 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 no, no, no. The soft skills, the communication, the ability to lead diverse groups, those are now the critical core skills that'll separate you from the others. So all my brothers and sisters in technology and engineering and said, oh man, I don't want to deal with people. Yo, we need to start dealing with people because that is the differentiator. Now, because the technology is so, unless you're doing something completely unique, technology is not at a place that, everybody's fairly comparable, irrespective of, universities and all that you go to from that standpoint. But you really need to strengthen your soft skills. And I have to tell you, Gemini or any AI tool like that, ChatGPT, will really assist you and help you. Not going to do it for you, but it'll give you really great ideas and options to say, oh, I could try it this way. And then you can then go to someone in your board of advisors to just reflect on it with them, practice with them. So, as you mentioned, AI is not just for the resume. AI really is for an individual's life. And as the CEO of Me Inc., I look at AI as my consultant, and the price is just right.
Yeah. And that goes with our last question of what does it mean to you to be able to inspire so many people? And like, for example, like the point of being able to be a commencement speaker at Georgian Court University.
It's part of what I love. I mean, I have to say that when growing up, I got a D minus in public speaking because I realized that I had, over time, I realized that I suffer from panic attacks. So you overcome things. You learn how to work with it. You learn how to overcome. And I've been blessed with a lot of different, let's say, obstacles in my life that I continue to overcome and have overcome others, that I have the ability to coach and guide someone, not just in a job search, but in so many other ways because of what I went through. And it's not something that I read in a book. It's just something that life, has experienced. Brandon, did you see the movie Slumdog Millionaire?
I did not happen to.
Okay. Well, it's a story of a gentleman in India, right? And Muslim, and all the different ways that just how difficult his life was. So by chance, he goes and, how to be a millionaire. Who wants to be a millionaire? The show in India. And he got all the answers right because of his life, what he went through. And I have to say that as a coach, I'm not certified in, the Coaches Federation or anything like that. I'm certified in life, in my way of life, in my way of thinking. And that's really how I choose to live my life and to impact and help others. And there's no other place I'd rather be, Brad.
Yeah, I mean that's an amazing point because we process like billions, if not trillions, of things every day without us even knowing. And if you take just time to just understand new things every time you have a new experience, or even same experiences, take a new point out of it, you learn a lot and it's valuable. And trying new things, making yourself uncomfortable, going to uncomfortable situations, um, just trying new things, getting out there. So that's a great point. All right, and then that wraps up with the podcast. Thank you for sharing your valuable insights. Wraps up episode 21 of the 15-minute coffee podcast with Brandon Salazar. We hope you've enjoyed gaining insights from our guests and exploring the world of business with us. Please don't forget to check out our podcast on our social media at the 15-minute coffee podcast on YouTube or Instagram for upcoming episodes. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.